guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is sponsored by Cricut, and what I want to share with you is that Cricut is a smart cutting machine that allows you to create personalized projects with hundreds of materials. It works with a software called Design Space that comes free with your machine. Now in Design Space, this is where you can create your projects, browse from, hundreds of images and fonts. Once you've created whatever it is that you want to make, Design Space will send it over to the machine to be cut. I browsed through this when I first opened this program up, and it is so many projects that you could create from here. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, and a lot of it is step by step, so it's very easy to use. I'm telling you, if I can use it, I know you can use it as well to make someone a wonderful gift. So now let's just jump into what gifts I'll be making today in this video. I also wanted to mention that they also sent this tray that you can put the rolls of vinyl on to keep them together and without, kind of going all over the place. And it just comes apart like so, but you can add it there and then put your rolls in there and feed it through the machine there. I forgot to mention that in the earlier part. I'm using the Cricut Explorer 3 machine is what they sent to me. I have all of the tools that I need. I bought some additional accessories on my own, like this item here. I have the pens. This came with it to do all of the scraping. I also have a Cricut mug press, as well as the heating, the resistant heating pad, the cutter. Over here I have a heat press for creating t-shirts. And just to give you a quick look, I have been making mugs and just doing the most. But for today's video, I want to share with you how I am going to use this Cricut. So I have 3 of these little tin boxes with the wooden tops that I actually purchased from Target in the $5 spot. So this is what I'm going to be using to create their little gift box. But I want to personalize it with like a saying on the top and maybe even their name on the front. Okay, so right now I'm actually in Design Space. And I'm just going to type out like a saying that I want to put on to the box. And then we will find a font to use together here while I'm in Design Space. So here's my little saying here. You just want to create it, scale it to whatever size you need it to be. I'm just trying to eyeball it for the area I want to put it on the box. Now I'm in the fonts to figure out which font I want to use. Okay, so now that I have selected the font, and I can't remember which one I chose, I'm going to click Make It. And next is going to ask me like what type of material I'm using. I'm going to be using smart material without a mat because it doesn't require a mat. And so I click that. And then the next thing is asking me is again the type of material, like exactly what I'm using. And I'm using permanent vinyl. And so I click that. And now it's going to send that information over to the Cricut machine to do the cutting. The Cricut literally tells you everything that you need to do. So, since I'm going to be using a smart vinyl and I don't need a mat for that, Cricut is already telling me to go ahead and load this into the machine. So it has these 2 little grooves here that you actually slide the material. I'm going to turn it this way. The material underneath, and I'm doing it right side up, like the part I want to cut out. The sticky part is on the back side. I think I'm doing this right. Anyway, I'm going to push the button that it tells me to push because now it's measuring the material to see if I have enough material to create the cut that I want to cut. And as it moves along, it gives you every instruction. So now this is a flashing light that tells me to go ahead and press, because now it's ready to cut, meaning it did have enough material to use. And on the computer, it's also telling me, I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but it's actually giving me the percentage that is left to create the actual cut. And I just enjoy watching the machine cut the material out. And you probably can't see it on here because it's black. Here's the top, right? Now here's the part. So here's the part of the videos that I've watched where people either love it or they don't love it. And it is when you have to use your weeding tool to pull away the excess vinyl that you don't need so that your image can show up. And that's what I'm using here. This is a weeding tool, and you simply just use it to pull out what does not belong, so that when you adhere your image or your fonts onto the surface. Okay, so this is what I have left, and this is where it gets a little bit intricate at, where you are starting to weed out the smaller parts of the image or the letters that you don't need. So for example, like the little part inside of the A, or the little circle part that's inside of an O or a P or something of that nature. This little weeding tool is used to just prick that out. It's pretty sharp, so be careful when using it. And you just go in and just peel the vinyl right out to see the word or the image that you have created in Design Space. And it's just that simple. Okay, so now that we have it all weeded out, I have it now on the back of the transfer tape, and I'm just running the scraper across it to get it to adhere to the back side of the transfer tape, so that I can transfer it over there onto that lid to my left. And you just want to take the scraper and like go back and forth to get it to peel off easily. And if for whatever reason a little bit doesn't peel off as you're doing it, just lay it back down and go over it again with the scraper until it releases it, so that you can transfer it to the object or whatever it is you're putting it on with ease. And then I'll show you, once you get it on there, you just peel it off of the transfer tape. And again, if a piece is not coming with the tape, you just take your little scraper and scrape in that area vigorously, and then eventually it'll just be a smooth peel and it'll come right off, and then you have it on the transfer sheet, on your transfer tape rather, so that now you can put it onto whatever surface you want to put this on, and you want to do the exact same thing here so that it can transfer from the tape onto the object. So you're going to use your scraper again once you get it centered or however you want it, and just scrape vigorously back and forth until it releases from the tape onto the object. And also I want to note that I didn't mirror this image because it wasn't going on anything that you would read in the reverse, like a t-shirt or like a glass, something that's see-through. So I just left it in the facing forward way that you see it here when I printed it out onto the transfer sheet. And simple as that. Ta-da! And now it's on there permanently. And now it's telling me to go ahead and release the material so that I can go ahead and weed out the image that is on here, which you probably can't see.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you ain't picking your phone up. Why you messing my head up?
Okay, so here I have already placed it onto the back of the transfer tape, and I'm just trying to get it to adhere by scraping across, which I've already done. And you're going to see a little part down here at the bottom, which is what I was speaking about earlier. Sometimes you have to go back over it and scrape it a little bit harder to get it to come off of the backing onto the tape so that you can make a smooth transfer onto the object. It's easier to do than it is, I guess, explaining it. Okay, so now that we have the image onto the tape, I'm going to find a good center point here on this lid to place it down. And once I get it exactly where I want it, I'll be taking the scraper once again and scraping it from the tape so that it will adhere to the lid with no problem. And I did use the permanent vinyl for this so that it doesn't come off ever. And here we go. Let me scoot you down just a little bit. But here we go. It is adhered to the lid. And now I can go ahead and show you how I'm going to put everything together. I'm so excited. So I actually made them each t-shirts using the heat press t-shirts made by Moi, and each one of them says something different per their personalities. Here's what the little tins looked like, how they turned out for each one, and then I made each one of them this little tray here, and I just put a saying on it using the vinyl. And so that's what I'm going to do right now, is go ahead and put all of their items together and make it look really cutesy. Shout out to Cricut again for sponsoring this video. Here's the lid to this one daughter's, and here is the lid to another daughter's. And again, I did the little trinkety trays. These are also from Target Dollar Spot. And then again, each one of them have their own little glass to drink whatever they want to drink in it that I made. And then I'm going to put them a bracelet in there as well. And I'll just show you how I put this together really, really fast.
Lately my thoughts got me distant. Darker days filling up darker minds. Stuck in this room that keeps spinning, wondering how you been, where you hide. Late night drinking, wishful thinking, what if you were here? Morning waking, heart still aching. Something about the way you make me feel. I don't wanna mess up your night.